Hello and welcome to Across the Terraces with Brad and Charlie. Welcome back, everybody. And on today's episode, we're going back in with the transfer updates of the past week. Let you know in case you haven't seen them. There's a few eye openers on that one. And of course, the controversial Premier League predictions. Funny comments that we've had with people. Some agree, some don't agree. Wolves fans not agreeing.
Oh, no.
But we'll be going from 10th up to who we think is winning the Premier League. So that's an exciting one to get that one out. But as you know, we're going to start with the transfers. Charlie, if you can give us the run through of what's been going on, please, mate.
Yeah, let's go. So, first one I'm going to go for is Ramsdale to Newcastle.
Standard? No.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Good keeper. Yeah, standard.
Yeah, that's is what it is. Wolves fans, you've got a left back, David Wolf. Do we know much about him?
No idea.
No.
I can't say I'm excited after somebody else going.
Yeah, so Semedo to Fenerbahce and on a free. Unbelievable.
Ridiculous.
You've let him go for free.
Now, one Wolves fan wanted to pull us on this prediction, thinking that we're absolutely deluded with this. Now, as a neutral fan, looking at Cunha going, who's your top scorer and assist maker, Ait-Nouri going, Semedo going, and loaning out Tommy Doyle. Obviously, as a neutral fan from the outside, I'm looking in and going, I can't see how they're going to have a good run. Now, someone did say they panic buy in January. That's always kept them up, but how long does you run? Does you look run on that one? I don't know. But
yeah, I'm not sure. I'm really
we're
not sure.
We're not putting teams down.
No.
Just as an opinion from an outsider, don't take it to heart. Just give us some inside info if you've got any. Don't take it to heart.
It's an opinion, as we touched on last week. Look, if they do make some signings, that position may well change.
All the positions can change. We're only going on current squads and people not having injuries. So we're calling it as we see it at the minute. Don't take it to heart.
No. Next one, I will go for Dan Undoy to Forest. I think it's a good signing.
From what I've read up on him, he seems like he's done quite well at Bologna. So we'll see if he can do the Prem.
Yeah, fingers crossed. We will go with Xhaka to Sunderland. Now we sort of knew this was coming, but obviously it's finalised now. I think that's a brilliant signing.
I can't believe they've got him, actually.
Yeah.
I think he can definitely go to a team better than them. Midfield general, tough tackler.
Yeah.
Will be interesting to watch him play against Bruno Guimaraes and Joel Linton when they play Newcastle.
Wow. I think that was sort of the reason why we put Sunderland a little bit further up the table, because if you can attract players like Xhaka, I just can't see them going down. As we spoke on last week, I just can't see it.
Yeah, exactly. All comes into the thinking.
Yeah. I will go on Callum Wilson to West Ham.
That's
an interesting one. If he can stay fit, decent signing, I'd say.
If he can stay fit, he's good for double figures. But the question is whether he can stay fit through a season. That's it. He's always struggled with that, so
that's it. And just thinking about that now, he is injury prone, and also that Füllkrug, again, injury prone. Are they struggling up top at the minute? It's looking that way.
Because Antonio's been back in training and whatnot, but again, after the car crash that he had and the injuries that came with that, will he come back the same player, given that he's mid-30s as well? So,
yeah, look,
it's an interesting one. West Ham fans with that, your strike force, because you rely on Bowen a lot. You're getting Callum Wilson in, Füllkrug, will he stay fit? I don't know.
We're not sure. Again, that's probably why we put them where we put them.
On paper, they could probably be higher in the league.
Yeah.
But just given, I have to take into account their injury problems. Yeah. I mean, Paqueta's been cleared of all his charges, so
he has. Yes, that's a bonus.
If he'd have been cleared on the last one, I'd maybe have reviewed it, because I'm going, if Paqueta plays well, like we know he can, that could be a real difference for him. So it's something to review when we come back to this after the end of August. In September when we do our review, I think it's definitely something to look at. But
yeah, you're right, mate. Now we will touch on a few Championship ones. Barry Bannon, a new deal at Sheffield Wednesday. I mean, I couldn't believe this one myself. I really couldn't.
Hero for Sheff Wednesday, I suppose.
Yeah,
because they'll love that, considering that I think Max Lowe was put in his notice to leave.
I saw that. Yep, saw that
after saying that he was going to stay. So I can understand why he's going, but I don't know why he said about staying and then put your notice in.
I mean, Barry Bannon, he's got legend status at that club now. He's got to.
100%.
He's got to.
From a neutral point of view, it seems a bit mad, but
it does.
Jeff Wednesday point of view, absolute legend. Yeah, hero to the club.
I mean, yeah, it shows his love for the club, and look, 100%. Fair play to him. Fair play. It just shows he's not playing for the money, which is nice to see. You know, it's something that most players play for. Let's be honest.
It's something that they could, really do with players showing that sort of attitude and dedication to the club amongst everything else going on. So yeah, fair play to him.
100%.
Wednesday legend.
Again, Wrexham. We'll touch on Wrexham. Kiefer Moore having a medical there. That is out of this world, because me and you both love that guy.
We're both on the old school. We're like a big number 9 up top.
Yeah.
And Kiefer Moore is, I think, collectively for us, one of our favourites in the Championship. So if he goes to Wrexham, if this all goes through, Wrexham, what a signing.
Yeah.
That's up there for me.
100%. And while we're on Wrexham, Connor Cody, another decent signing. A
2
leader
mil as well. I think that's not a bad price. I know he's early 30s, but yeah, I would rate it.
Take a wild guess that he will probably be in that starting 11.
Yeah. 100%.
I think so.
You're not going to leave him out. His passing ability from the back.
He will lead that team. He may not be the captain, but he will take a role within that team.
Massive for the dressing room.
As a leader. Yeah, 100%. 100%. And we will go to a Derby transfer. Rhian Brewster.
What do you think? Interesting one. Shows touches of class. Obviously, injury problems, so it's a bit of a, will he perform? Will he stay fit? If he is, good option for us to have. But yeah, I don't know. It's a good name to have in. Good signing.
I'd say so.
If he stays fit, great. I'm obviously slightly on the cautious side because of his injury record and stuff. So we'll see. I suppose we're lucky that, we've already got quite a lot of options in the attacking one. I assume he'll probably be more of a impact sub than a starter for us. But nonetheless,
look, if he turns on the performances and the form we know he can have,
100%.
You've got a fantastic player there.
That's it. We'll see what happens with it. Yeah. But another one on, more depth. I'll take it.
100%. I'd love to hear from some Sheffield Wednesday fans in regards to the state of their club at the minute, because it's a shambles, let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean, the North Stand being closed,
players
not being paid again, staff not being paid again.
Yeah.
They're friendly with Leicester's being called off because they're not paying for hotels and all that sort of stuff.
It's ridiculous. It's just got to the point now where he needs to sell up and he needs to just take the minimal amount of money for that club just to get them back on track, because he's just going to run them into the ground. As, again, we've touched on this in a previous episode.
And I want to say, I know it, being a Derby fan from where we were, and look, I always feel sorry for the fans when the club's in disarray like this. I also want to point out to other fans that I think Wednesday fans are included in this. When we were going through our rough patch and nearly losing the club, Wednesday fans had quite a lot to say about it in regards to putting the club down. So it's happening to you now. I think people need to pick their words wisely on this, because it can always happen at any moment at your own club. And clubs had a lot to say about Derby and other clubs when we were going through it. Now Sheff Wednesday's going through it. Different story. Now I hope it works out well. I'm not one to put a team down, but people need to watch what they're saying.
I think we touched on this, didn't we, where we said about, even if you cannot stand the club in that position, why do you want them to go out of business? There's people that not professional footballers, but there's people that you're basically wishing them out of a job, which I think is ridiculous.
If you've got that sort of attitude, just keep away. I saw a few comments for ours, with fans coming on, and I just, what fans can be sour with stuff. And I've had Forest fans come on because I had my Derby top on in the last one, and some of them are going, with some just silly comments. You just think,
pointless.
Listen, we're all here for football. I'm not here to listen to people want to bicker and take things personally over football. I'm a Derby fan. Charlie's my best mate who's a Forest fan, and we can talk football, get along. We don't fall out over it. So I'm not here for the negativity on that. Keep that elsewhere. Like, we're here for football chat, banter. That's it. If you want to start being all serious and silly, yeah, go elsewhere. Not interested.
Yeah, no, I'd echo that, mate. Yeah, completely agree. We don't want
100%.
it. We don't
We're
want
here for the football.
Yeah, that's it. That was it for the transfers, mate. That's it, transfer-wise this week.
So I just want to touch quickly before we go into our Premier League. We're recording this on the start of the League One and League Two season. Now, I'm not going to go too deep into it because this episode is based around our Premier League predictions and we've got a lot to discuss on that, but just want to highlight a few of the eye-openers in the results on there, mainly from League One. I think there's a couple of pretty good results in there, to be fair, some interesting ones. I just want to point out Cardiff, 2-1 home win against Peterborough. I think considering what's been going on at Cardiff, their relegation last season, everything else going on in the background, Cardiff fans, how happy are you? Start the season with a win, 3 points on the board at home as well. You must be happy because I bet, obviously wins for you lot were hard to come by last season. So, let us know on that one.
Yep.
I also want to point out Huddersfield, 3-0 they won at home to Leyton Orient. Considering Leyton Orient playoffs last season, good team.
They are,
Huddersfield
100%.
have spent big. And it's interesting because Lee Grant's obviously the manager, isn't he?
Yeah.
First job, first game of the season, 3-0 win after spending big. There's a lot of pressure on. We'll obviously said in the future we're going to touch on who we think's going to go up out of League One.
Yeah.
I can just say I think Huddersfield are definitely in that conversation. I think they're cooking up a good League One squad.
I think so, mate. Yeah, look, as you said, they've spent big, got some good players in, and they don't want to be in that league. They don't want to be in that league. Look, they're probably too big to be in that league, to be honest.
100%. And again, looking at the manager, Lee Grant, ex-Derby, I've got a lot of time for it. So, I hope he does well as a manager. Yeah, I've got a lot of time for it.
Yeah. Look, fingers crossed he does. And as we say, look, they will definitely be in the promotion talk when we get onto that. That's
100%.
for sure.
Yeah, 100%. Lincoln City, 2-0 win over Reading. I mean, Reading I expect to be a half-decent team this season.
Yes.
But Lincoln, I spoke to Hutch, who is a Lincoln fan. He's my sort of League One knowledge. And I messaged him earlier about it and I said, what's your thoughts? Little playoff push, because that's where I'd be thinking for them. He was saying that, they've sold a couple of their better players. He's hoping that money gets reinvested. They need a few signings, probably a good 3 or 4 signings probably to have a consistent push throughout the season.
Yeah.
But look, they've started it off 2-0 win. I would very much expect them to be in and around the playoff places. And fair play to Lincoln.
Yeah, I'll give a shout to Lincoln. Look, they've always been a decent team, to be honest with you. They've always been in and around there, sniffing around the playoffs, haven't they? They're not a team that's going to finish in the bottom half of the table. That is for sure.
They've been built well, yeah. I mean, they've had quite a few decent players, and even when players have sold, I think they've replaced, a lot of the players that they've got rid of quite well.
Yeah.
They've got Sonny Bradley from us. He's, again, for a League One centre-half.
Fantastic.
And by all accounts, he was solid today for them. So, look, they've got some good signings. So, fair play. And Hutch, thank you for the knowledge again. Obviously, I'll be tapping him up for our League One knowledge to be posting on because he is the man for us on that one. Barnsley, 3-1 away win at Plymouth. Now, that was a feisty game by all accounts. Plymouth, first game, I thought they were going to at least get a draw in this one, if not win it. Tom Cleverley in, just coming down. They're looking to bounce back up. But fair play, Barnsley.
Good result.
I think they'll be up there. I think they're another one to be up the top end of the
league. Good result there. Good result away from home. That is on the first day of the season. Fantastic
100%.
Result.
And then really, I just want to touch on League Two briefly. Shout out Chesterfield.
Yep.
1-0 win at home to Barrow. A little, I was born in Chesterfield. That's where I'm from. So, I have a little look out for them. So, little 1-0 cheeky win. Chesterfield fans, let us know what you're thinking this season and getting in playoffs. Are you thinking higher? I don't know. I
Could
can't say
happen.
I'm too well versed, but no, interesting one. I'll keep an eye out on that one.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
But let's get into what people are wanting to listen to now.
Here we go.
The Premier League top 10. So, just a reminder for you, like I'm sure most of you listening would have gone through and listened to our last episode from 20th to 11th, but I'll just run through quickly just to remind you of where we're at, and we'll go from there. So 20th, Brentford, 19th, Burnley, 18th, Wolves. They're the three at the minute we think they're going down. 17th, West Ham, 16th, Sunderland, 15th, Leeds, 14th, Everton, 13th, Fulham, 12th, Crystal Palace, and 11th, Bournemouth. Now, I'm going to reiterate again to people, this is just based on signings so far.
Yes.
State of the clubs, that sort of stuff. We're going to revisit it in September, do a little review, because I'm sure with some signings coming in and out, we'll be probably moving a few teams here and there. This is just our early predictions from the state of it is now. But we'll confirm it all in September. So,
here we go.
10th.
Okay, so I'm going to pick Brighton for 10th, I think.
Yeah, I've got the list in front of me, and I'm looking. Yeah, I do.
There's some good teams in that mix, but 10th Brighton for me.
I think the fact is that they've lost João Pedro.
He was massive for them. He was the man, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was really good for them. Obviously, Welbeck's still there.
Yeah.
But you can't rely on Welbeck for the goals. He's a pain in the arse when he comes on. He puts himself about. He's good for a goal. He's not going to be the one to be playing consistently all through the season at his age. It's just not going to happen. So, again, you can never write them off because they always recruit well, and they might get somebody in who we don't know that well, and they could be phenomenal. But I don't think they'll do bad. No. I don't think they'll be able to keep it at the minute consistently up there for a European place. But I think as much as they'll fluctuate, I think 10th.
Yeah,
I agree.
I think so, mate. I think so.
I think I'll that's them in on that.
That's one. Brighton for 10th. So 9th. Who have you got in 9th place?
Yeah, this is an interesting one.
Again, it's a tough one.
See,
I'm just looking at the list myself now. I mean, it's a very, very tough call, this one.
People, we do this completely like live as you're seeing it. This is our live debate on where we're putting people. So you're seeing it firsthand with running through. I'm going to put it out there. I think Villa. Now, I know some people may shoot me down on this, but I don't know how. And again, Villa fans, let us know. They seem to always have financial issues in regards to PSR.
They do. Yeah,
and I don't really understand. PSR fraggles my head a bit, but I don't really understand how they're still in a position where they need to keep selling players and they can't reinvest. Because on paper, again, they have a very good squad, but
they do.
They're not freshening up the squad. So I don't see how they can compete consistently with the other teams who, the ones who are going to be above Villa in this, have obviously reinvested quite a lot. And, they've got a fresh approach now to the season. Villa haven't, although still have a good team, but balancing, all the cup runs that they're going to try go on, plus the league.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just looking at it thinking, and then Watkins with his head being slightly turned by the United link, is he going to be there? And if he is he firing all cylinders? I don't know.
No, I completely agree. I think their focus is going to be on the European competition, if I'm honest, because that's going to be the money generator.
That's it.
And if they're getting rid of these players, which they have, and they're not replacing them, it's going to be tough with a thin squad.
Will it be, as we've done with Crystal Palace, focus on the Europe, and then it slightly sacrifices their league position, because if they win in Europe, they're guaranteeing Europe for the season after anyway. So it could be a similar one to a Palace.
I think so.
Although I do think that obviously their squad is better than Palace's, hence why they're being in the top 10.
But, 100%. And again, as you said, in regards to Watkins, if his head is turned, are you going to get 100% from him?
They could quite easily be higher in this list. Yeah. It's such a debate on looking at the others, and going on pure speculation. I'm not putting them, in ninth place and thinking that's 100% where they could be. Because it's such the next few are so close on where to put them. I'm just purely going on.
It's very difficult.
Being stretched.
Yeah. I think I'd agree with you on ninth for Villa, as for the reasons we've alluded to. It's
as it stands, because they've got a lot of good players, but they're young. Will they be able to compete on all fronts consistently? I don't know, but Emery is a bit of a magician.
Yeah.
So, and then obviously looking at Martinez is linked with leaving. That'll be a massive blow if he goes.
Oh, yeah,
will definitely affect what I'm thinking. But as it stands, he's still there. Watkins is still there. I'm thinking ninth is quite fair considering what's going on there at the minute.
I think so. Yeah. Look, as you've said, the next few it's going to be close.
Yeah.
We're not saying there's going to be like a 10-point gap. We're talking 2-3 points maximum.
And again, it's only going to take a handful of signings at Villa, and I would very much change them in that conversation.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
I can't really do much difference at the minute.
They were very good last year with the loan signings. They had some very good loan signings. They were very good. Look, we won't take that away from you. But, just this season with the speculation around a few players, losing those loan players, I think ninth.
Yeah, being, as we're recording, beginning of August, I'm saying, ninth for now.
I think so.
We'll see what happens come September. But, I think lock in Villa for ninth then.
Yeah, I'd agree, mate. Yeah, we'll put them in for ninth.
Villa.
So, eighth.
Let's cross them off that one.
Eighth. Okay.
Again, this is another tough one.
Yeah, I'm going to say Forest for eighth, I think. Purely because, again, it comes down to they've sold a few players. They've got the player in at the minute. They've been linked with a couple of other players.
Yeah.
If they were to get the other players they're linked with, they may finish higher than eighth.
Yeah.
But again, with the European competition, I just think it is going to be tough to finish higher. I'm putting them in eighth because they've kept majority of this squad. In fact, they pretty much kept all of this squad.
A lot of them have signed for new contracts.
They have, mate. Yeah, and
unbelievable.
Look, last week we were on about Morgan Gibbs-White leaving, and with a new contract, I think I think it may just give them that push again, and they were defensively solid. Yeah, and if they can score again with Igor Jesus and Chris Wood, it could be another good season for Forest.
Yeah, I mean, I like Forest defence. I think it's solid. Murillo and Milenkovic at the back, top, and none of them, touch wood, are known to be injury prone. They're two tough lads that just go through. So, I like what Forest are cooking in their team. I think fullbacks wise, again, solid. Yeah. Bomb up and down, very good at both. Midfield's good, like you say. You've kept Morgan Gibbs-White, which is huge for the club, absolutely huge. So I think him being there for at least another season, and then obviously, like you say, the other signings, the striker, obviously is a big deal in Brazil.
Yes,
looked all right at the Club World Cup. Will he come in and do well for Forest up top? Because I don't know whether Chris Wood will do what he did last season.
I can't see it. Unfortunately, I just can't see it. But then, hopefully, with this new lad in, it's a bit something different. He's not just a target man.
He's always going to be a pain in the arse.
He is.
But obviously, riding the wave of confidence last season, the whole team were. He was obviously right place at the right time. He's a big lump. He stands in the box. He's scoring the goals. Fair play to him. Will he do it this season? I mean, if he does fair play, I can't see it. Because he's never been massively prolific.
No.
But again, we need to see what Nuno's doing in terms of his playing style. Is he keeping it to the counter-attacking like he did last season? Is he going to try and change it up and pass it around a bit more? I think that'll also play a part in that. It'd be interesting to see what he does.
That's it. And I think with Morgan Gibbs-White signing that new deal, I think it shows the trajectory that they're on. Yeah. You know, they're only going up. They're not going to be scrapping for a relegation spot. You know,
yeah. And you look at the other names, like you say, that are linked in with them at the minute. I mean, they're good signings and getting that depth in as well. Because if you do keep Europa League football, if Palace's appeal doesn't go through and you keep Europa League, I think with the quality that's coming in and the depth you get in, I do think that, Forest are going to be another tough team. I'm a humble Derby fan. I can look at what Forest are building and the position you're in, and it looks very, very good. So I have to say hats off, because again, I can't slag it off just because it's Forest. If you've got a good team, you've got a good team.
Yeah.
Phenomenal last season. Deserve European football. Cooking something good. So
so that's that. Forest for eighth then.
I think there we go. Lock them in. Forest at eighth.
Now the top seven is extremely tough.
Now
it's extremely tough.
The one I'm going to go with next is, I'm thinking Newcastle.
I'm going to agree with you there, and I'm going to agree because of the whole Isak saga. And if you lose him, you where's your goal scorer there?
Obviously, the talk at the minute, Liverpool have lodged a bid, which Newcastle have apparently turned down.
Yeah.
Now, whether or not Liverpool are going to go back in any higher, it's looking like they may not. But he's obviously made it very clear he wants to leave. He wants to pursue and go and win trophies, which, due to Newcastle not spending money, not getting in the players, which apparently they'd been promising in January to people like Isak, saying, we're going to spend, we're going to recruit, get people in to continue the push. He's now feeling disillusioned by all this.
Yeah.
I look at it, like you said, Ramsdale coming in. Okay, he's a good goalkeeper.
Yeah.
It's not exciting, though.
No.
Alanga coming in. I think Alanga will do very well. I think he'll suit the way that Howe sets his teams up.
Yeah.
But again, is he a player that's going to get them competing with the teams
that's what I was going to say. The thing with Alanga, yes, he is. On his day, he's a very good player, but he is hit and miss.
Yeah.
Now, he's the sort of player where he'll 60-yard dribble, beat everybody, open goal, and he'll miss it. That's the sort of player he is.
That's it.
And
that's, yeah.
When you want to be finishing the Champions League places, you're in the Champions League. You need a player that's going to, like a renowned finisher. You need that, and Isak is that. And if he leaves, you've lost that completely.
The thing is about it with Newcastle, they scraped getting Champions League football last season because we had that fifth place position.
Yeah.
If we didn't have that extra place, they wouldn't have had Champions League football. And again, it looks completely different.
Yeah.
And now you're adding in, they're not investing.
No.
I look defensively. Will Burn have another season that's half decent? Again, as he gets older, he's not a young buck. Naturally, he's going to have that natural decline in his game. Will he be back there again?
We don't know.
Who knows? Botman can't stay fit.
No.
Shaw, again, getting on. Is he going to continue to perform? When you look at the other teams, how they've recruited, and let's face it, you should be looking to be beating the teams below you, and you want to be taking points off the bigger teams. And I look at their defence and I go, are you good enough to hold out the big teams? Sure. Especially going in the Champions League as well. Sure. And I can't see it myself. I really can't. They're not awful.
No.
But when it comes down to the nitty-gritty of them extra points to push yourself into Europe, I'm just not seeing it at the minute because they rely on Isak so much.
That's it.
With that situation being as it is,
it's like we were saying about West Ham last week, relying on Bowen. Newcastle are relying on Isak's goals because
That's it.
I know, Murphy had a good season. He did have a good season, but is he going to perform to that level again?
He's never been a top player, Murphy.
No.
We all know this. I think Newcastle fans know it themselves. He's never been a top player. He had another half decent season, but he's not a player that you're going to be keeping in your squad to go and compete for the Champions League places. It's not happening. Now, I think midfield 3, top.
Yes.
Tonali, Bruno, Joelinton, top.
Brilliant.
You get an injury or suspension,
you've got nobody.
That's where it really drops because the other lads coming in, the quality is not there. 100%, it's not there.
You've not got anybody. Look, Gordon again. He's one of them hit and miss players.
I like
Gordon.
His day,
he's very good.
I do like him, but
on his day, brilliant player.
He's not a prolific goal scorer.
No, Harvey Barnes, another one.
Yeah, I'm not a massive fan of Barnes, although he's done all right. He's not for me.
I'll say, look, I like Livramento. I do like him. I think he is a good player.
Livramento and Lewis Hall, the two
Very
fullbacks.
Yeah,
I'm a
I do
big
like
fan of them. Yeah, big fan. If they both play, because I know they've still got Trippier, but if they're playing Livramento, Lewis Hall, very good. Really
I think
like it.
that those two lads could potentially be getting into that England team next year if they play.
If they play like they have been, 100%, I've got to agree. They've got to be in the conversation, especially Livramento at that right back, because, I think
that's where we're lacking.
It's a bit of an interesting
in England,
one.
aren't we? Yeah.
Just in terms of where play, because obviously Reece James, injury prone and stuff like that. But anyway, I'm not going to get into the England squad. But,
no, that's a chat for another
Livramento,
time.
Good player. So,
yeah,
I think all that, again, I can't put them higher.
No.
Because of where they're going. And obviously, when we come to review it, let's say Isak goes, but they beat Man United to Sesko. Exactly. You go, okay, that's a good replacement. And if he comes in and does well, then again, it's another debate. But as it stands, Isak's made it clear he's wanting to go. They've not really made any other signings apart from Ramsdale and Alanga. Not that exciting.
Exactly.
Not got much depth. I feel sorry for Eddie Howe. I feel sorry for the Newcastle fans because you've got the richest owners in the world and you can't spend money because of PSR. So how are you going to compete?
No, look, I'll just add in there as well the way that Isak's handled this situation. That's not fantastic for the team and the lads in the team. Does it knock confidence? Potentially. Does it?
You can understand players wanting to go and fight for trophies and stuff. And he's obviously felt let down. But why is it taken to this point to then come out and say it? Surely conversations would have been had before this to say if you're wanting another move to another club. But I don't know. But Newcastle will lock them in at 7th.
Yes. Good call. We're top 6 now. Top 6.
Yes. This is an interesting one.
For 6th, I mean, you probably find a lot of people are probably expecting this. I am going to go Man United for 6th. I think.
Yeah, I agree. I think on paper,
just
their
because,
squad, at the minute, how they're building is looking pretty good. I mean, talk about injuries and stuff, but if they keep that team fit, as Ruben Amorim, I think, is managing them players a lot better, coming back from injuries and nursing them back into the team. I think if he's doing a lot better doing that. I think they've recruited quite well. I think with Cunha and Mbeumo's goals going into that squad, it allows Bruno to dictate play a bit more and not have to be the main man to try and do everything.
Yeah.
Obviously, can't say too much about the striker because they haven't got Sesko through the door.
Yeah, they're still lacking in that strike position, aren't they? They've not got a real goal scorer as such. But as you alluded to, the goals from Cunha and Mbeumo, that's going to contribute massively for that team.
So I think, you're looking at it on paper, they've got some very good players in there, and I do think that they'll look better this season with a pre-season under him from Amorim. The signings he's made, he's added a lot of goals into that team. Yeah. And I think a lot of players will want to step up and perform, and if he keeps them fit, and I do think they'll have more players staying fit this season under how he's managing them. I do think that they'll be looking to really push up, and Yeah, I think even with the signings they've made now, I think sixth. And again, if they had a striker in there, it just cements them being back up
100%.
in that running.
I even think, look, if they didn't have such a shocker last season, they may well have been higher in this list.
They should
put
have
it out there.
Embarrassing season that they had.
Yeah.
We all know that they, on paper, they should have been nowhere near where they finished this season.
No way.
You know, not good enough to compete with the big boys. But, you know, you look at where we are with, you know, the 6th place, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. There's not a lot in them teams. In what we're obviously grading them where we're putting them, but I don't think there's a lot between them. And I think one signing for teams can really dictate if they move up in these positions. But if United keep the majority of their squad fit, they've got no European football, so they can just solely focus on their league form, which is another big one for me because, you know, with Newcastle, Forest and Villa all having European football, they're playing a lot more games. United have made some good signings just to focus on the league. Yes, maybe a little domestic cup run, but league form, I do think they'll have a good season. I think they'll be a completely different team.
I do, mate. I think for this season, I think United need to probably go on and win one of the Carabao Cup or the FA Cup. I think they need to do that.
Yeah. If they can add something into, I mean, to be fair, you know, you look at the last few seasons, they always reach a final.
They do, yeah, they do.
I give them their dues. That they've always been good in cups. So
yeah,
they just need to replicate that in the league.
They need to win it. Yeah, they need to 100% go on a good cup run, as we've said.
Yeah,
they need to potentially win it as well to set them up again 100% for the following season.
Yeah.
So that's
definitely.
Yeah. So United for 6th.
So 6th, Man U.
Top 5.
So let's mark them off that one. For me, the next one I think is quite an obvious one.
I think, yeah. I think we're going to have the same, aren't we?
It's got to be Spurs.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Spurs,
I think most people will agree with the top 4 being the top 4, maybe disagreeing in who fits where.
Yeah.
But I think the top 4 is cemented most people's minds. Spurs
I think so, mate.
is an interesting one. I think, again, should have been nowhere near the position that they finished in.
No.
They obviously came out, Postecoglou admitted he focused solely on the Europa League and gave up on the league. Okay, you know, but they've got European football. They've got a good team on paper. Thomas Frank going in, I really like him.
Yeah,
as a
I like
coach.
Thomas Frank.
Really like him.
Yeah.
If he can be successful at Spurs, I think they'll be very good. Again, question marks over players' fitness. You know, Van der Ven, Udogie, will they stay fit? Because I think Udogie's injured again.
I'd even throw Maddison into there for the last.
Big
he's proven that he can be quite injury prone.
Yeah.
Which is a massive issue. And Son wanting to leave.
Son's leaving. To be fair, I mean, he's not been that good last season.
I think he's going to end up at Bayern Munich. But we won't go too much into that. But I think that's where he's going to go because they've got the is it Palhinha coming the other way?
Palhinha's coming in on loan, isn't he?
So I think that he may go there again to be with Harry Kane, as they had the fantastic relationship on and off the pitch. So
see whether they can maybe replicate a little bit of that.
I think so. But again, look, that's another conversation. Yeah.
But I think Palhinha coming in is a good signing for them because their midfield is lacking.
Yes, 100%.
And I think him coming in will be a good signing. I think defensively, their starting defence is good if they can stay fit. Vicario's, you know, he's a decent keeper.
I just think you probably agree, mate, that last season under Postecoglou, they didn't have a different style of play if they were ever in a losing position. They just played the same style, and people found them out.
Tactically, I found Postecoglou inept.
Yeah.
Everybody loves to see fast-paced attacking football. We all love to see it, but you know, you're in games where you need to tactically adapt to that in order to compete.
Yeah.
And he just would not adapt. He would not change anything.
No.
You know, a little bit at the back end of the season, we did see him, especially in the Europa League, we saw him slightly adapt things and it worked.
Yes. Yeah.
But he'd go back into the league and just go, right, attack.
Yeah.
And wouldn't do the same tactical changes in there. And I'm thinking, you're on course to get sacked from a big club. Start adapting it. We know how good Spurs can be. We know how good your attacking football is. But you're so open at the back. You're pushing your players hard. They're getting all loads of injuries. You're not adapting anything. What are you doing? But I think Frank coming in is a tactician. He'll manage it better. And if them players stay fit, I think Spurs pushing 5th place.
I think so, yeah. I think they'll have a good season under Frank.
Whether or not 5th place is Champions League or Europa League, I don't know.
Not sure
how that's working. We'll have to look into that a bit more. But yeah, if it's 5th, they'll get the Champions League football. Yeah. If it's not, they'll have Europa League. But again, they've got European football, so we'll see how they go on in that. But
yeah,
I think Spurs for 5th.
I think so, mate. Yeah, I think so. I think that's a good call. Now, for 4th, you may not agree with this one. I'm going to put Arsenal in 4th.
Ooh.
And I'll tell you for why.
Go on.
I just think over the last few seasons, obviously, where they've been finishing 2nd, they've not had that extra gear to see them over the line. And I think the fans are a little bit sick of Arteta.
Yeah.
And I think that the 3 above them, I think they've got more firepower. Look, I'm not saying that Gyökeres isn't going to be fantastic, but I just think the 3 above them have far more firepower, and I just can't see them finishing in the top 3. Unfortunately, sorry, Arsenal fans.
Okay. See, this one's done me in a little bit because I thought that I'd have them worked out in my head of who's finishing where. But then Chelsea winning the Club World Cup, the way that Maresca tactically adapted his team to play PSG panned everybody in that Club World Cup who they played. They played Chelsea in the final, and the way that he set the team up, they completely outclassed PSG in that game.
100%.
And they looked very, very good. And that threw me off because I had them initially, I was thinking Chelsea to be 4th.
I would agree.
But then the signings they've made, the way they played against PSG, that really made me look at it and go, okay, maybe they won't be 4th, because if they can replicate that, bear in mind no one got near to PSG last season.
Oh, they wiped the floor with everybody.
So
everybody.
If Chelsea can go and do that, what if they're going to be able to set up and tactically adapt like that in the league? You look at the signings they've made. You look at Xavi Simons is still potentially coming in. That's thrown me off for Chelsea.
Yeah.
I get your point on Arsenal because I think a lot rests on Gyökeres being able to do it in the Premier League, but also him staying fit.
Yes.
But his goal-scoring record over the last 4 or 5 seasons has been phenomenal in every season. Whether it be in the Championship with Coventry or obviously in Portugal with Sporting.
Yeah.
But he's also scored in Champions League as well, which makes me think he will come and do it. The one for me, I think, for 4th, it's such a tough one. Because
it's a hard call. It's the top 4 is so difficult. It's going to be so close.
The one that's the way I'm slightly thinking for me is I was thinking City. Now, you can never rule out Pep because he is just unreal. And even a bad season for them last season was 3rd, which was just ridiculous. My only thing I'm thinking on them is defensively, even in, the pre-season stuff they've been doing, defensively they are lacking. Now, they obviously score a lot of goals. They outscore the opposition, but defensively they're poor. Whereas the argument for Arsenal is, I'd say...
They are quite strong at the back.
They've arguably got the best defence in the league.
Yeah.
I mean, especially, Gabriel and Saliba, that partnership is phenomenal. And then you look at Lewis Skelly at left back, top player at such a young age. And then that Timber who plays at right back, again, another very good player. I really like him. Depth with, the likes of Calafiori, so...
It's a tough one. I'll add in, if anybody watched them in whatever game they played against Arsenal the other day, Arsenal were not great. And Gyökeres wasn't great. Look, I know he's just got there and he's just getting into the flow of it, but they weren't great. They weren't great.
It is tough to...
Yeah, it's a hard one. It's a very, very hard call. I just can't see City being as bad as they were. I don't think
this is the thing. And this is what's doing me, because Arsenal are better defensively, City are better offensively.
Yeah.
But then Pep's the difference, isn't he? He's the one that's making me go, even in a team that's leaking goals, they'll still do so well.
I can see the Arsenal fans turning on Arteta again if he doesn't get them results early on. Whereas Man City with Pep, they won't turn on him. They just won't.
It's because Arsenal, finished second for the last however many seasons.
That's it.
You do wonder, is Gyökeres enough to get them over the line, considering how well everyone else is recruited?
Yeah.
Will they, even though they are a top team, and I think, like I say, best defence in the league, in my opinion.
I think so, yeah, I agree with that.
But will they be able to score enough goals? Will Saka stay fit through the season? Is Madueke good enough to do much?
I'm not sure.
Martinelli, for me, is just in and out. He has one good game, and then he'll have 3 or 4 poor games.
Yeah.
Trossard's okay.
Yeah.
Havertz, half decent.
Yeah.
Gyökeres should be top for them.
Yeah.
I think midfield's good for them. Zubimendi coming in.
Yeah, good signing that.
I think he's very, very good. Obviously with Rice being in there as well, and obviously, Odegaard, Wanyeri, who's going to play a bit more centrally, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Pep thing, man. The Pep thing's what's doing me.
Yeah,
I'm swaying
won't
to
let
Arsenal.
them slip to them.
Yeah,
I just can't see it. It's a very difficult one.
I'll go with you because I'm very torn. I'm struggling, but you're more set on Arsenal being fourth. I'll go with you on this one.
I'm sorry. Look, Arsenal fans, I am sorry, but it's just after the last couple of seasons, I think they've sort of hit a wall. I know you've wanted the striker for the past few seasons, but the problem with Arsenal, they just try and walk the ball in. And you can't be doing that in the Premier League.
You could say, can it be different with a proper striker in Gyökeres?
I hope they prove me wrong. I do, because I do like Arsenal, and I hope they prove me wrong. I really do. I would love to see them finish above City, and I'd love them to win the league. But again, look, I just can't see it at the minute.
Yeah, due to some of the other ones we're going to talk about, I can't see Arsenal winning the league. Yeah, I'm too torn on that. So if we go for Arsenal
for fourth, yeah. I sort of think we've probably covered off third in that conversation, haven't we? A little bit
with City,
and I think we're going to go. Yeah, would you agree, City for third?
And again, this is tough doing the top 4 and where they're going to go, because you could argue points for every team to be in different positions.
Oh, yeah, there's going to be people disagree, mate. That is for sure.
Yeah, we're sort of going a little bit rogue to maybe be slightly different into what maybe a lot of other people may say.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
City third.
Because of what we've just been debating, we've got to put City third.
Yeah.
The more I try and overthink it, I could try and argue for City to be second.
100%, yeah.
I just think if we've debated Arsenal and City in that conversation, I think
City third, yeah.
Lock City in for third.
Yeah.
Which
leaves
for me,
the top
and
2.
I think, well, I already know that you agree with me on this one.
Yes.
Because we've already spoken about this one before, but
yeah.
Drum roll. Number 1 for us is Liverpool.
Yeah.
It's quite an obvious one, which means Chelsea go in at second.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I think most people up and down the country will agree Liverpool, on paper, with the signings they've made,
they're going to be
of how good they were last season, plus take into account the rumours of other players potentially joining, the likes of Isaac and Mark Gahey. I just look at that and I go, if they perform how they were last season and they've got the extra few players in, I cannot see them slipping up in the league.
I'll be honest, mate. I can't see them losing many games.
No.
And I can't see them drawing many games, to be honest. I think they may run away with it.
What was it last season? They only lost 2 games, I think, last season in the league.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Look, if they hit loads of injuries, okay, that may change it. I just can't see it. I just think they'll run away with it. I think they're too good. On paper, they're too good to put anywhere other than top.
And you look at like Florian Wirtz coming in, a lot of people I've spoken to who've watched the Bundesliga quite a bit say he is a tough cookie. The Bundesliga is quite a tough league, and they say for, the player to look at, you'd maybe think, oh, is he going to be weak on the ball? A lot of lads have said he's very good on the ball. He's very strong. He's rough. Obviously Leverkusen under Alonso were taught to close down, get stuck into people. So that's very much blooded into the players there. And Wirtz has very much had that put in. And him then fitting in that into Liverpool, because Liverpool like to press. They like to get in your face. So he's the ideal player to come in and fit into that squad. Plus the quality that he's got. I mean, a lot of us who watch a lot of football have seen how good a player he is, both for club and country.
Fantastic.
If he stays fit throughout the season and performs, the likes of Ekitike going in, plus Salah, Gakpo, Shabal, I'll go through their whole team. It's just solid from start to finish.
I don't think you could pick a player in that team where you think he's a weak link. There isn't one.
No.
There literally isn't one. There isn't one there. And then if Mark Gahey gets in as well, him and Van Dijk.
Mark Gahey and Van Dijk. 2 leaders at the back.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
I can't see anyone finishing above them.
I think Liverpool's an obvious choice, but I think it's hard to argue against it. Yeah. Second, third, and fourth is so close.
Yeah.
Now, like I say, I think we've gone for Chelsea. It's a little bit of a rogue one.
Yeah.
Because based on last season's league form, you wouldn't put them finishing second. But considering the signings they've made, the Club World Cup win,
I think that's
showing how they performed.
What's done it for us, hasn't it? The Club World Cup is probably the one that's made us think they can finish second here.
If they bring that sort of performance to the league consistently, because they've got a big squad still, so they can rotate well. If they bring that, I think there'll be a real dark horse, and that's why I think going a bit rogue, we're going to go for second on them. But again, you could argue Arsenal, you could argue City. I think between second, third, and fourth, there's not much in it. You could argue either way, and I wouldn't disagree if someone said City second or Arsenal. I wouldn't disagree with you. It's so close, but go a little bit different. We're going a bit rogue. We're going for Chelsea in that second place, and it's going to be an interest. Whoever finishes where, I think that top 4 is going to be very, very interesting.
It's sort of like, as we alluded to the teams a little bit lower down. Those places are going to be separated by like 2-3 points maximum. It's going to be so close. It's going to be so close up there.
Yeah, 100%. So got that locked in. So I'll just run through it so everyone can hear it from 10th up till 1st. So in 10th place, we put Brighton. 9th, we've put Villa. 8th, we've put Forest. 7th, we've put Newcastle. 6th, Man United. 5th, Spurs. 4th, Arsenal. 3rd, City. 2nd, Chelsea. And the Premier League champions, Liverpool.
Yeah.
That's the order that we put them in on that one. And yeah, look, we're going to review that in September after the transfer window is shut to review that. But that's where we're looking at in the state of your clubs.
Yeah.
Let us know if you agree or disagree. You might have inside information on your club that we don't have as neutrals to this. We're going on, from what we're reading, other people that we speak to who give us information as well. So we're always open to listen to what you're saying. So, let us know on that one. But that's our predictions for the Premier League for the upcoming season. Obviously, in asterisks, because we'll revisit this in September. But for now, that's what we're thinking. From 1st to 20th.
Look, I know we're definitely going to get some Arsenal fans come for us. I'm nearly sure of that. But look, Arsenal fans, let us know if you are happy with Arteta. Is he the man to win you that league? Let us know. We want to know.
Yeah, 100%. Same with you, City. with Pep and what you've been doing, what's happening again. You let us know. Are you confident going in? With the likes of De Bruyne and that who's gone. Chelsea fans, are you happy? Do you think you could get second? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Has the Club World Cup changed your opinion the same as it has our opinion on that? Because, like I say, I won't disagree with anybody. But I think another interesting one, Man United fans. I've got a few lads that are Man United fans and they're very sceptical and they talk quite negative about the club. So, United fans, do you agree? Do you think you'll be pushing for Europe? I mean, we've got you down at 6th, so we've got you getting back in Europe. Do you think you will? Do you not? Again, let us know. See what you think. And, we'll be intrigued for the debate on the comments. Yeah. But keep it cool.
Yeah. Please don't abuse us, please.
Don't need to get arsey with us. Just have a conversation.
Yeah, please no.
This is all sceptical and opinionated. You know what I mean? So
Wolves fans, we're talking to you specifically now.
Wolves fans.
You seem to come for us. Come for us last week.
We're coming in. This is neutrals. If you got inside information, just let us know. Because we're always open to listen and see what people know that we don't. But that's the Premier League predictions. We'll be going into the Championship.
Yes.
Now, obviously, the Championship predictions will overlap with the start of the season, but you can't take anything from the start of the season in the Championship, as we all know, for Championship fans. So, again, we'll have 2 episodes covering our Championship table predictions.
Yeah.
It will run over the start. I'm not taking any notice of 1 game, 2 games. It means nothing really in the grand scheme of it. But, the next one's Championship predictions. This is giving us some headache. Because we have had a little look before and a little bit more planning on this one. Headache. So, a lot of debate to be had. But, that's upcoming. Get onto our socials. Follow, like, subscribe. Get it out there. Help us grow this one. You've already done amazing getting involved and stuff. We really appreciate it. And, we'll see you on the next one. And,
Thanks so much, guys. Take care.